Hey everybody, Cone Dodger here, welcome back to Formula One 2018 as we head to the second last race of the season and the series, Brazil. Q1 was a kind of a bummer of a session for me. I was on a really nice lap and I just kind of screwed it up on the Sector 3, that last turn before the straightaway, but we made it through to Q2 just fine. The bummer is it started to get really cloudy at the end of Q1, so I'm worried the rain is on the way. Rain in Interlagos. Okay, it is actually, the sun is out right now, so maybe it was just a little cloud cover, but I want to get out on track ASAP just in case something's on the way. But yeah, rain in Interlagos. That's an iconic duo, that's for sure. Car is, I'll say, moderately comfortable here. It's not got anything specific that I'm like, I just really wish it was better here. I just don't really feel comfortable at this track. I think this is really weird this has happened, but the iRacing series I did ran almost all of the tracks that are in the final stretch of this Formula One season, and I spent, so much time learning those tracks in a Mazda MX-5, and then I see them here in F1 with not only, the most different kind of car possible, but also the track models are way different. Like, this one in particular versus the iRacing version is kind of staggeringly different. A lot of the curbing has changed. Mostly it's visuals, like the visuals around the track are way different. But it's certainly a trick for the brain. This has not been a particularly clean lap. I may end up doing 2 runs in Q2. Yeah, this turn I just cannot seem to get the turn-in point. And that's one of the majorly different turns. Let's see if we're anywhere in the 7s. 5, 6, a 7-1. That's actually pretty good. That's not going to hold as the fastest lap. We went out very early, but if it'll hold me in the top 10, I might keep it. All right, not bad. Not bad for as much griping as I just did there. Third place in Q2 is quite fine, but you see how close things are. That's what was making me nervous, at least in Q1, is 2/10 is the difference, basically, between that top 10. So one little bobble somewhere that was, a 2 or 3/10 drop could have dropped you right out of Q2. But it looks like we're clear to go through. Alonso has been the only car in the 6s so far this whole race weekend. All right, Q3 and the sun is still out. Happy to see that. Let's see if we can get into the 6s. That would be nice. There we go. I gotta watch this thing because there's been a bug in the game developing, oddly, as we've been playing, where it doesn't give me the countdown timer to take over the car, and it just shoves you straight into a wall. I've had that happen multiple times in practice, and I've seen it happen in qualifying before as well. DRS, let's try and really focus in on this lap. Braking just beyond the 100. Keep it wide and then get it into that curb. Get a lot of the right side curb. A bit too much left side there. DRS, 8th gear. We're gonna brake at this little access road. Float the center. You do not want to get back to the gas too early there. This is another real floaty entry here. 6th gear, 5th gear, full throttle. The little right front lockup there is gonna be costly. Pin the throttle out of there, get it out. This is like the autocross section of the track. This is where I should be good. Although it's been a really darn long time since I've autocrossed. Still missing the apex there. That was probably a big enough mistake to keep us from 6s. Even though the rest of the lap was pretty good. 4, 5, 6. We might be in there. Yeah, 6-8.
That's the fastest lap so far. Well done.
And then it's turn 1. All right. We'll see what that 6-8 does for us. It might be good enough. Times in Q3 have not really been improving very much this season, which is, well, frankly bizarre. I can't explain that, but it is what it is.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Red lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Raikkonen, Romain Grosjean and Bottas, Alonso, Sainz, Hamilton and Esteban Ocon, Hülkenberg, Leclerc, Kevin Magnussen and Vettel, Ericsson, Sirotkin, Pierre Gasly and Lance Stroll, Ricciardo and Brendan Hartley rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
You should have some space going into the first corner, so try to keep it tidy.
Will do, Jeff. I think that might be one of my first pole positions here. Maybe I had one with us. I don't remember. That was a while ago. Well, it was exactly 1 season ago. But alright, should be pretty straightforward. Interlagos is weird because you start on the right-hand side, which is, you know, the clean side of the track. It's the grippy side, but it allows for dive bombs into turn 1. Some tracks, you know, you can really use that wide entry to your advantage. But here, if somebody gets up next to you, turn 2 on the inside is atrocious, and you can really get screwed. So we'll try to not make that happen today, or not let that happen. That's the proper word. Bring those RPM up. Holy long lights, Batman. Oh, don't get to the inside, Cone. That's exactly what you were talking about. Couldn't get the throttle down. Okay. I feel like there was more than one party involved in that contact. Whoa! Where did Perez come from? And then me and Verstappen hit again. A lot of contact between the two of us at the start of this race. I mean, we were obviously slowing each other up. That allowed Perez to come through. But I was not prepared for that. Oh man, did you see how much he compromised his line there? Screwed us both over. A lot of bobbing and weaving there. Gosh, it gets so tight through there. Oh, and it's so dirty on the outside. I got Verstappen beside me again. Oh, I put them side by side.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy.
If that was making it look easy, I'd hate to see what it looks like when you make it look hard. Ooh, that's a bit wide. I really wanted to stretch it out on these tires because I don't feel like I'm nearly as good on the harder compound here. Screwed that up. Easy. Easy now. Okay, well this has been a hectic start. I was on the brakes way too early. I think sometimes my brain forgets that we're not doing the longer races now. When the races were longer, you start heavier and you really gotta take it easy with the car on lap 1 or the first start laps of the race. Boy, I just missed that real bad. Luckily, it was not a passing opportunity for them, but it closed them right back in. 4 cars under a blanket here. I could tell that was going to be the case. The times were always very close, practice and qualifying. I get a great run off of there. Alright, now DRS starts to become a factor. Not here, it looks like. Verstappen did turn a quicker lap, but I had a little bobble. What is our gap? Oh, I thought it would show there, but it's here. 0.6, so he's still within DRS. Now he's really going to be within DRS. This is going to be a really quick race, too. I think it said projected time was like 20 minutes. I wonder if they're seeing me struggle. I don't think I like that, though. I'm thinking about it. What if there's traffic if I do that? I don't have time to even respond right now. I'm gonna stick with it. Standard. Yeah, I'm worried about coming out into traffic because we have a pretty good gap. And if you have a big gap,
approaching the pit window, you'll be on the softs.
it's very possible we could
4.4 seconds.
we could blend in with the back of the field, and this is not the kind of track you want that to happen. Really nice gap, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a race between us. I kind of wish I had made a brake pressure change. Can't do that now. Yeah, I just feel like I can't get a good feel for where the threshold of the brakes are here. I based this setup on Hungary because I really liked. I really liked our race in Hungary. That was messy. I think the braking profile is just a little bit different. Still got some laps to go on these tires. Still riding in mode 5. I presume because this track is so short. He's pretty close. No attempt there. Don't overdrive it. You know, I was going to apologize because I had planned and in my head was going to be like, I'm going to be taking it a little easy in these last 2 races. Just, you know, easing my way through them. I'm having some kind of health issues that have to do with, we'll say, a erratic heart rate, and probably not.
This lap, give us the best in lap you can.
Probably not the best activity to be doing related to that. There's been plenty of times through this series where I've said things like, well, that hurt my heart. The irony of that, not lost on me. But this race has... Oh, baby. That was messy. At least for the first few laps there. Not done much to help. It's not really a... Don't think that I'm, like, risking anything. It's just a... it's an uncomfortableness. It's not a...
Pit now. Pit
danger.
Behind is 2.2 seconds.
All right, that was a good gap that we built. I think they got the racing pretty good behind us. So at least we have some gap as we start on these soft tires. Oh, they're not pitting yet. Alonso either.
Release.
Good stop.
Pit strategy complete. See these tires through to the end now.
Will do. Gee, I didn't want to get behind on this because next week is the release of F1 2019. So I gotta be ready to go next Friday to start recording there. Whoa! Yeah, I really am not a fan of these tires. I ran the race strategy program on them, and it was not the most comfortable 3 laps I've done. Hopefully I kind of adapt to it. And hopefully all these people being on pit road together is a benefit for us. It looks like it has been. Yeah, that's interesting. We did not really, I don't feel like we were doing any undercutting or anything. I don't feel like we were running quicker. But just being on pit road alone was probably the benefit.
Softs on the car behind.
That's pretty much what you would expect there, Jeff. Now, quite a few cars haven't pit yet, so I might be seeing the other Force India. That could be Ocon behind. No, it's Perez. I believe it was Perez behind us, so that should be our gap to second place. Can I get some cheeky DRS here? Nope.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Well, make a liar out of me, why don't you? We still have someone who has a pit? Is Kimi going for the backwards strat? Or is it just not updated yet? No, I think that's what he's doing. Yeah, I think that's his dot way up there. I must admit, I looked up there and saw a red dot, not a maroon dot, and I was like, well, that's not him. Should be in a maroon dot. Ah, that's not till next season. We're almost there, though. We're almost there. I definitely have to get things under control by then. Hopefully I'm back up to 100%. We're going to be doing those longer races, and it will be a lot more challenging. The beginning stages of the career, I think, are the hardest part of the career in these games. It's not like it ramps up in difficulty, it almost calms down in difficulty. It makes me feel for those drivers that spend their whole careers in the midfield, because boy, they are just fighting and scrapping their entire careers and getting kind of shit on for it, you know? Oh, never got a podium. That driver was no good. They just worked a little harder. They're working their butts off. And there he is in for his supers.
Great work. That's a new fastest lap for the race.
Car is really telling me to shut up. Oh, he already pit for his supers. That strategy worked out quite well for Kimi. Boy. Nose got away from me there. It's interesting that I've been able to ride in Mode 5 for this entire race, basically. No, not basically, this entire race. I guess there's just not a demand? Like, this track's not putting a lot of demand on the battery system? I'm not using a lot of ERS power? Or maybe the car is just so upgraded at this point. Oh, one thing I'm gonna do next race for Abu Dhabi, I think we need to try and see what the top speed of this car is, because there's probably no better place to do it than Abu Dhabi, because it's got that crazy long back straightaway. I don't know if that's actually the longest or fastest straightaway in Formula 1, but it feels like you should be able to pretty easily top out a car there. I want to see how fast these cars could go using a top speed setup. We had the discussion of whether or not these would be the fastest Formula 1 cars in this, you know, fictionally upgraded car. And it was brought up that, you know, other cars have gone faster in top speed. Well, I've never run this car without wing on it. I almost always run pretty high downforce setups. So I'd be curious to see what it could do with a low downforce setup. I lost those there too. One thing that's kind of dramatically different from these cars to those old cars is you can't change the gear ratios. You're stuck with what you got. So you see how we're out of the rev band right now? It's not that the engine is over revving. It's not spinning faster than it mechanically can, but it's been tuned to make peak power at a much lower RPM than that. So in theory, it's no longer...
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
It's no longer making as much power as it could, and it's no longer hitting the top speed it theoretically could. Kimi's keeping up pretty... Ooh! Easy, Cone. Kimi's keeping up pretty well with those supers. If this was a long race and a long stint, I think the turns may have tabled. Now, let's try and throw down a quick one right here. I've been doing a lot of jibber jabber. Drive it in there. We are actually starting it down there on battery power now. Ooh, that was a nice exit. Bit of a different line through there, but it worked. Ah, but too much speed into here kind of threw me off. Nope. I'm trying to drive the car like it's still on the supers, and it's just not got that mechanical grip to do that. We went from a 10th up to like 8 down. That's okay. I think we're still holding fast lap by quite a bit. This is not quite what I expected.
Gap to teammate behind is 16.
Nor is that.
6 seconds.
his strategy did not work out in any way for him. This is really, I would say, one of the first, like, curb stompings we've put on this season. Possibly because Alonso was stuck in traffic and didn't race us. I'm still not happy with the brake pressure. I think that's the impressive thing is the curb stomping the car is putting on, and I feel like it isn't anywhere really near perfect. There's a lot of refinement I could have done setup-wise. I see comments frequently
Up to the car behind is 4.9 seconds.
from a few people that would like to see more of the setup stuff. Like, hey, can you show us, you know, what you're doing with the setups? I can, but it's honestly just really not that interesting. I honestly use setups that are pretty much off the same formula every week. I find a suspension setup that I like, and then I kind of just use that as a baseline, load in that setup, and then within the Trek acclimatization program, I figure out which end of the car needs a differing aero grip, and go from there. It's just not exciting. These setups are not like iRacing setups in any way, shape, or form.
This is your final lap of the race.
This track's kind of interesting because it's so windy. You would think you'd be running a really high downforce setup, but most of the turns end up being really low speed, and that high downforce doesn't help you. It just slows you down on what is a couple really fast straightaways. This turn coming up, like this complex right here, basically one of the only aero grip turns, and there's not a lot to gain there. But these are pretty much mechanical grip. It kind of leveled out between me and Kimi at the end there, but there was some moments I thought maybe he was gonna make a run at us. Well, a heck of a start to the race, but that last stint was kind of a clinic. All right, that was good. Nice,
Superb driving. That's the race win.
nice short race. Didn't overdo it, and a victory to
McLaren
boot.
have pulled it off. They've won in spectacular fashion here today. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Fun bug. You see how the
Our drivers are
McLaren's in
making their
orange
way
up there?
out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be
In the rest of the screens, the McLaren logo is in
well,
pink.
the gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. Now
Oh,
then,
was it?
Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of
I
the
mean, it
day?
doesn't
I
matter.
think I'm going to give it
Oh
to
yeah, he
Daniel
didn't score
Ricciardo.
points.
He's come through the field so well today, you know. Well deserved.
The constructors'
Oh, I
title
didn't hear
may
who he said.
already be decided, but there was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings.
Oh
Well, what a
yeah.
weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling instalment of this Formula One season.
P2 McLaren. Well, we just got to hold that for one more race. It will be close. Grosjean did get 5th today. Magnussen didn't score. Wow. Very interesting results there. Kimi did put an 18.8 in that late stint, but everyone else was just a lot slower than they were in qualifying. It was very strange a really bizarre race. I don't understand where everyone's pace kind of went in this one. But let's watch those opening laps, because this was chaos. I didn't get a great getaway. Not terrible. Not great, not terrible. Okay, I made a little contact with him there. But he just flat out turned into us. Oh, man. No, we gotta go back and see that. Hold on. Hold on. No. That was a terrible view. All right, 3 wide. And we kept it 3 wide. There was a little bit more contact a couple times there. I had no idea through that section. Is there like an overhead view or anything? No, but there's the sideways view. I had no idea that we were 3 wide. I just didn't realize that Perez had made that run down the inside. I thought it was just the 2 of us. That's why I was so confused why he was kind of pushing me out. Wow. Well, that's fun. Then I had to like chop him off down into there. Good stuff. Can we get a different camera, please? There we go. Boy, this would have been the view. Whew, I came close to his gearbox there. See the back end step out? Holding it close. Oh, that's right. He blocked and got a terrible exit. Sometimes these cameras are just too fancy and you miss the action. Side by side. All the way through here. Very nice. Dirty out there. You see the dust kick up? Now do we go 3 wide again? Just 2 by 2. I think it's 3 wide on the exit. No? No, that's right. I pit them 2 against each other. And I think from there, once that happened, it was a little bit smoother sailing for us. Yeah, that was certainly a fun opening few laps. I enjoyed. I don't think through all of that roughhousing, I don't think anyone ended up losing any car bits. Get out of the dirt, Cone. You fool. All right, good stuff. I want to go see if there's an interview. No, there won't be. I was trying to figure out. No, there it is. See what I mean? McLaren is pink. The McLaren is pink in the background.
Today. Was it a comfortable win?
Who do we want to make happy? Let's make the team happy.